So hi everyone, my name is Kaushal and today I am going to teach you guys that how you can create Swiggy's animated search bars in Jetpack Compose. So without wasting any further time, let's dive directly into our Android Studio. So before starting, let us take a look at what we will be building at the end of our video. Here, as you can see at the top of our screen, we have this beautiful looking search bar. You have this animation that goes on at the end of our placeholder. So I have tried that I could make the search bar as close as the one on Swiggy. Of course, I don't have those color combinations and icons and everything, but yeah, overall that has been my motive. Also, what I did was if the user types something, then as you can see that the placeholder disappears with a very beautiful crossfade animation. So as you can see, it looks amazing, right? So this is what we will be making at the end of the video. Okay, so let us start with the coding part. So as you can see, I have made a new project called Swiggy clone. So inside it, as you can see, there is nothing, there is just a boilerplate code. So I am starting from here. I am gonna take a column and let's use this inner padding. First of all, let's ask it to take the fill max size. We are going to take a row and I am assuming that the row will be first getting a margin from all the sides of somewhere around 16 dp approximately, and after that I want it to also have the full width, so it takes the entire width of the screen. And after that I want it to have a clipping of rounded corners of somewhere around maybe 12 dp if I'm not wrong. Then let's give it some height of 54 dp. Then let's give it a background color, maybe some, right? And let us choose somewhat this. So let us save this and let us try to look at how our output is actually looking. So as you can see, we have something like this over here. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to have the first and the last sections. That first section, as you would see, that was the search icon over here, and there was some divider and then location icon right over here. So we will be making that. So for that I'm going to have this box. I'm gonna go with size and I'm gonna say 54 dp, and I'm gonna say content alignment cent, and I'm gonna say icon image vector icons default and search content description as search icon. Let's save it, let's see how it looks. And as you can see over here, it looks something like this. Let us give it some color as well. So for that I'm gonna give it a tint. I'm gonna say color dot maybe gray, I don't know. And yeah, it looks cool by the way. After that, for temporary purpose, I am giving, no, let us go directly with this only, and let us just simply use the location on, and I'm gonna say this is the location icon. Let us see how it looks. As you can see, this is something what it looks like, and we want it to go right over here. So our text field is going to take this entire remaining space. So for that I am going to simply write a row over here, and I'm gonna give it a weight. This is temporary, so don't worry, I am just doing this so that the location icon goes right over here. As you can see, it has went up till here. Now let us build the divider, and I'm gonna say height 20 dp, and I'm gonna say width maybe 0.6 dp, and color I'm not sure, background color I'm not sure. Let's see, okay, gray. Let's try to give it gray as well. And yeah, okay, so I would also be needed to give the vertical alignment dot center vertically, and it's gonna come to the center. Of course, this is looking good. So now inside this row I would need to give a basic text field state. So for the state I would need to declare it right over here. So I'm gonna say well text state, remember text field state, and over here I'll pass that text state. So text state. So if you tap over here, then as you can see, you could type. Okay, I would like to give it some styling, so I'm gonna say text style dot default dot copy. For the color I'm gonna say color dot dark gray, of course. And for the font size, maybe 16 sp, maybe this would be enough. Let us see. Yeah, feels sufficient. Now I would need to add a decorator, and for the inner field I'm gonna declare a variable inner text field which we will be calling in some time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to style the inner placeholder basically. So for that what I'm doing is I'm going to have a box first of all, and I'm gonna say fill max width first. After that I'm gonna say content alignment center start. After that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say if the text state that we just declared dot text dot is empty, or yeah, it's basically empty, then show a text which says search for maybe milk, right, as we saw. And just after that we are going to have our text field which will be above that text. That's the reason why we have taken box over here, so that the placeholder stays behind and the inner text field comes on the front. Let us also give this particular styling to this text as well. For that we are going to have this style, and for color I am simply giving it light gray. Let us see how it looks. I would, okay, maybe gray. Okay, looks cool, right? So for example, if I search hello world, then the placeholder just disappears, and if I go for, say for example, I search milk, then it disappears. Yes, our basic text field, or I can say the search field, is now ready. Now all we need to do is add animations to this. So for adding the animation to just particularly this, I have chosen to go for animated content. Why? Because I am just going to animate this one particular part of the text, right? I'm not gonna animate the entire thing. So for that what I will do is I'll have this another text right over here, and I'm not gonna have this milk over there, so it's gonna look something like this only. And I would also be needed to take this inside a row and also give it vertically center alignment dot center vertically, and it's gonna look like this. Great. Now what we will do is we will basically change the value of this text after maybe 1 or 1.5 seconds. Okay, and that particular text is going to change along with an animation where the previous value is going upwards, and the new value that is gonna take the previous value's place is going to come into the frame from the bottom. Okay, so for that the best thing that we could do was having something like this. So first of all, let us declare the values that we will be showing right over here one by one. Okay, so I'm gonna have a list for that. So I'm gonna say text values, and I'm gonna say list of, so I'm saying milk, atta, paneer, and maybe aloo paratha, right? Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to have a variable which is going to have the value of this text field, text values one by one. First there will be milk, then there will be atta, then there will be paneer. So let us declare a state temporarily, and I'm gonna tell it text value. Okay, and I'm gonna say remember mutable state of, and let's say text values dot at index 0. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to have a launched effect. I'm gonna say true, while true, let's have a delay of 1500, and then let's have this text value equals to text values dot get or null the particular text values index of the current text value whatever it is plus 1. If that is not the case, means if it is empty, meaning that there is no next index for that, then what you are going to do is you are going to stick with the default one, meaning that it will take the first one again. So what logic I have implemented over here is that after every 1500 milliseconds the text values value is going to get updated with the next one from the current list. For example, if the current value is milk, then it's gonna go to atta. If it is atta, then it's gonna go to paneer, then aloo paratha. Now as you can see, I have taken get or null, meaning that if it is not getting the index after this one, meaning it is going to return us null. So if it is going to return us null, then we will be going back to the very first value once again. So that is the logic that we have implemented right over here. So now what we are going to do is we are going to use this text value. Okay, so let us directly just replace this with text value. Let us save and let us take a look and see what happens. Okay, so I guess we would have to launch it once again because we have used launched effect, so that's not gonna work for live edits, I guess. And yes, as you can see, the last one word is changing after 1500 milliseconds. Now what we want is that this changes with animations. Okay, so for that, as I said, we are going to use animated content, and what it will do is it will take the state that we want to animate. It is going to return us an animated text value which we will be using instead of the traditional state that we were already using. All we just need to do is replace our real state with the animated one, which is returned by the animated content. So let's save it. Let's take a look at what we are getting, and as you can see, the last word is now animating, which is super cool, and that's why I like Jetpack Compose. Animating things is that simple over here. So now what we will be doing is we will be trying to get the animation of that last particular thing as close as possible. Okay, so for that what we will be doing is we will be giving it a custom transition spec. Okay, what it will do is it will have custom transitions for the element that is moving out of the frame as well as for the element that is moving inside the frame. So you can specify different animation specs for both of them. So right now I'll teach you how you can give animation specs to both the element that is going outward as well as the element that is coming inward. So for the element that is coming inside, I will be doing for example fade in for now. Okay, and you have to write together with space and fade out. So what would happen over here is that the element that is coming inside the frame means the next element which is going to replace the previous one will be coming into the frame with a fade in animation, and the one that is going out will be going out with a fade out animation. As you can see right over here, the old one is going out with a fade out animation and the new one is coming with an fade in animation, right? I would give this a weight of 1f so that you could see the animation more easily. As you can see, this is having a beautiful fade in and out animation. Now say for an example, I do here slide in vertically and I save this, then the element that will be coming inside will come with a slide in vertically animation. That is, it will vertically slide up or maybe from the down, I'm not sure. And let's see. Okay, so as you can see, the element that is coming inside is coming from the top. I don't want that. As you can see, there will be something called as the, for example, target or maybe initial offset. So I'm gonna see, okay, it's minus t divided by 2, so I'm gonna give it as it. So what would happen is, firstly it was minus means it was coming from top. If you remove the minus sign, then it is going to come from the bottom, and the division by 2 means that the entire height or width accordingly will be divided by 2, and that will be its initial starting position for the animation. Okay, so from there it will start its animation and it will reach to its original position. So right now let's see. Yeah, as you can see, the new element comes from the bottom, but the thing is that the old is going out with a fade out animation still, so we will replace that right now. So instead of having fade out, we will say slide out vertically and have the target offset. Means that till where you are desiring your element to go till at the end of the animation. So if we save this, as you can see, the new one comes from the bottom and the old one goes upwards, as you can see right over here. If you want, you can also chain multiple transitions for the element that is coming inward or the one which is going outward. For example, I am trying to give fade in animation here for the one element that is coming inside the frame, and I also want that the one that is going outside should have this fade out. If I save this, as you can see now that the one that is going outside is also going with a fade in plus slide out vertically, and also the one that is coming inside is coming with a fade in plus slide in vertically. So I hope this was clear, and I'm also going to have content alignment dot center start, so that this looks more cleaner. As you can see, this goes one by one by one by one. Earlier it was some top or something which was not looking very nice. It was looking somewhat odd, so that's why I decided to give center start. So now if we search, for example, hello world, as you can see, this is working completely fine. Aloo paratha, etc, etc, whatever it's coming right over here, it's looking good. So now what we will be doing is we will be giving it a crossfade animation. Now see, giving a crossfade animation is really simple. All you need to do is just lift this particular boolean up and wrap this entire thing inside crossfade, and as the target state you have to give that particular state which is going to change from true like false, correct, or maybe it's some integer which is changing. So basically the state that is going to change, you have to give it right over here, and it's gonna give the animated crossfade states value of this particular thing as it inside this lambda. So I'm gonna rename it and I'm gonna say animated crossfade state. So it's gonna have the state for this particular thing. So basically the text state dot is empty, so this is empty returns as boolean, right? So we are going to have animated crossfade state as the boolean, so it's gonna give us the boolean but animated. So what we have to do is we have to use this one. So we will have if this, copy and paste. So instead of using this text state, we will be using this one. This is the updated state with animation. So if we save this and if we take a look, then there won't be any changes, of course, but if you press some keys, then as you can see, our placeholder goes out with a very beautiful crossfade animation as well. Now a few improvements that you can do with this is that you can, okay, let me show you some problems. For example, if you go till here, as you can see a few problems, it's going multi-line, which shouldn't happen, and also that this text is touching to the divider, which is not something what we want. So for that we will be doing is giving it a padding from the end of, for example, 16 dp, so now it won't touch the divider. Also for the multiple lines, what we can do is we can give it line limits, that is field line limits dot single line, and let's take a look. And as you can see, now it has a single line and it doesn't go for multi-line, and this is basically it. You don't have to do anything. I'm not sure in how many lines of code this entire thing has got built, but it starts from 59 and it goes up to 178. Wow, that's crazy. So within some less than 150 lines, your entire clone of the Swiggy's search bar is now made. So that's the beauty of Jetpack Compose, and that's why everybody loves making UI using Jetpack Compose. So I hope you all have learned something new, and I hope this was helpful. So if you found this helpful, then please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll be watching you guys in the next one. So till then, take care, bye bye.